Welcome to another episode of LPs and Books. This is your man LP, and today's book of choice, man, is called The Diary of a Madman by our main man, Scarface. That's right, we tapping in with Mr. Brad Jordan himself, the legendary MC, respected in the game, one of your uncle's favorite rappers, you know what I'm saying? One of your rappers' favorite rappers, Mr. Brad Scarface. Diary of a Madman. Tap in with your boy, LPs and Books. Let's get it. First and foremost, please do your man this solid. Hit that follow button, hit that like button, drop something in the comments. You feel what I'm saying? So we can continue to come right up on here, man, and drop fresh episodes of good books being suggested to you from a book lover myself. You know what I'm saying? Love the bios, love the memoirs, love everything in the nonfiction section. My last episode was about toddlers with autism. You know what I'm saying? Giving you some tools to help turn that around. You know what I'm saying? So, and before that, well, we had Alicia Keys. Before that, we had like Ghostface. We've had Viola Davis, Common. You know, just breaking down different books. You know what I'm saying? This is my thing. Welcome to my show. Let's chop it up about some of the things that took place since we've dropped the last episode. So, had to do some traveling. You know what I'm saying? Took it to my hometown for my uncle's 65th birthday. Huge, nice party. You know what I'm saying? Family coming through from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Family coming from LA. Family coming from like Minnesota. Coming from all over, you know what I'm saying? Milwaukee, uh, coming from all around to celebrate the 65th birthday of my uncle, my mother's brother. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my Uncle Lynn. Shouts out to the Graham family. You know what I'm saying? It was nice to see everybody, you know. Uh, Real nice vibes. I just kind of kicked back and, sometimes this time I just didn't feel like flick. I just wanted to soak everything all in. I remember uh, hearing that from somewhere to where we have the camera out so much when we travel or we're doing things that we don't necessarily just get to take everything all in. So this particular time, I just kind of kicked back, man, and just took everything all in. You know what I'm saying? Took how we've grown up, how uh, we were just running around here as youngins, and we all got grays, and it was just a beautiful thing to see and celebrate everybody in good spirits. It's nice to come home for something other than a funeral. You know what I'm saying? When we starts to get up there in age, it's always to it could be oftentimes you could be coming home for something like that instead of celebrating something. So that was a beautiful thing, and I cherished the time that was spent. Got to kick it with my mother every day. It's a beautiful thing, man. I live in Atlanta. I'm from that 815, Rockford, Illinois. Shouts out to my hometown. So it was just nice to spend that time back home, and just kind of come home with that refresh, recharge. You know what I'm saying? We all need it from time to time, and it was a beautiful thing. So moving along, let's talk about some of the. Okay, first and foremost, what we're going to do is this: we're going to give our rest in peace shots. You feel me? A lot of people have passed, unfortunately, man, since I've done my last episode. So we want to give a rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. You know what I'm saying? James Earl Jones, Fat Man Scoop, and Frankie Beverly. So rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? And on another serious note, once you know, sometimes I never know which way I'm gonna go with which book I'm going to break down. So One thing I learned, and I shared this on one of my posts on the other social media, that content will content. If you just, you know what I'm saying, put your 10 toes down and say, I'm going in this direction with my content, and you put your work hard towards zoning in strictly on that, you don't have to overthink and think that, dang, what is going to be this week? Trust me, content is going to content. Trust me. So much has happened that, honestly, you just have to mentally jot down where you want to zone in at, especially if you're someone like me who just loves taking in a bunch of information. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, with that in mind, the reason I did this episode right now is because before I started this, I seen a picture of Scarface that was floating around the internet. Matter of fact, came from his IG with him with the I don't even know what you call that stuff, but he was like in some ICU type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some in the hospital or something to deal with his health. He was in the hospital with all those things attached. You know what I'm saying? So I seen that, and next thing you know, it's just prayers for Scarface all over the internet. And I was like, you know what, this is the time for me to do this because I tapped into this book, let's say about a year or two ago, before I started this show. So, and this again, what the replies I got from explaining the book to people is one of the things that lit the fire for me to start this show. So anyway, I tap into the book, and one of the things, we're just gonna go off on a tangent. We're gonna get to the book, but first and foremost today, we're gonna chop it up a little bit, and then we're gonna chop it up about my uh, love for Scarface and me personally with how I relate with him as an artist, because he's, I'll let you know how high he is on my list and different things of that nature. Then we'll get to the book. But back where I just left off, so seeing the thing with him being sick, and a few years back when I tapped into the book, back then, before I started the show, when I bought books, I wanted the longer the book, the better. You know what I'm saying? The 25-hour book. I think Will Smith book was like 20 some hours. The 17 hour, you know, so on and so forth. And I remember when I got Scarface book, it was only like 5 hours. I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Coming from one of my favorite artists of all time, I just wanted it to be so much longer, but he did not disappoint. And again, once when I tapped into it and tried to share what I tried to share what I learned via my other social media sites, it just falls flat. You know what I'm saying? Try to share the book with people, you hear nothing back. So I'm like, you know what? Again, that was one of the things that planted the seed for me to start this show, because I don't care what y'all think. Uh, Tapping into books is cool. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna make me feel like what I'm doing and what I love is lame. You know what I'm saying? We're taking in information, we're learning, I'm trying to share what I learned. You know what I'm saying? Again, all the reasons why I decided to start the show. So, you know, now when we tap into, let's talk about Scarface. Hold on. So let's tap into Scarface as an artist and how I relate, you know what I'm saying, and what I like about him and different things of that nature. So 49, man. So growing up, when it comes to Southern rap, period, in general, for me, uh, it all starts with Scarface and the Ghetto Boys in Houston, Texas. You feel me? Houston, Texas, specifically where I'm from in Rockford, Illinois. I'm not sure if it was just me or I'm pretty sure a lot of us. Yeah, it was everybody because he was just hearing it at parties and stuff. So anyway, rap a lot in general. All of their music did well in the Chicago, and Chicago trickles down to my city, which is Rockford. So Chicago is like 1 hour away from Chicago, from my hometown, hour east, southeast of where I'm from. We are like northwest of Chicago, 1 hour, right? So everything they get, we that's our big brother. So we pretty much get. So back in those times, man, I remember hearing Ghetto Boys like in seventh or eighth grade. So we're talking like '88. Let's just say '88, right? '88, Houston, Texas, Florida, which perhaps should be on record for probably being the first to have national reach with their rap music with Luke and Two Live Crew. They probably was first, but that wasn't my vibe, so I never tapped into that. You know what I'm saying? Poison Clan, I did like them, but it was loose. Like if somebody played it, I liked it, but I don't know that I ever got my hands on any of their records back in those times. So for me, early on, my first taste of Southern rap was from Scarface and the Ghetto Boys. And then that moved into everything that was coming down the Rap a Lot pipeline. For me personally, I would go to this mom and pop mom and pop record store that we had back in the days called Ubiquities. Shouts out to Ubiquities. Anybody who tapping in from the 815 will know what that do with them fresh smell goods and different things of that nature. And I would go personally order the next Rap a Lot record that was coming because I had heard this artist on a Ghetto Boys record. You know what I'm saying? So, and back then it was crazy because it was like horrorcore. You know what I'm saying? It was really crazy. And I was young listening to that stuff. You know, it was nuts. You know what I'm saying? And I want to send another rest in peace to the homie Mike Ashley. I don't think there was another bigger Scarface fan than him. You know what I'm saying? And me and him, both from the South Side, used to see him a lot, and we just, get to run off Scarface lyrics and different things like that. So my love for Face go way back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of the the I'll just give you an example. A lot of the records that I was listening to back then by them as they were coming out in my collection today, some of those I try to keep more of the introspective and clean, more grown. You know what I'm saying? Because Face he was really young when he came out on those Ghetto Boys records to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So again, let's just tap back into what we were talking about. So from the late '80s, I'm a fan of Ghetto Boys and Scarface. You know what I'm saying? Ghetto Boys had this thing where they had like this album, Grip It, on that other level. I don't know. It's like two weird versions, and but both of them was dope and different records on. I can't explain it. If you was from that era, you know what I'm talking about. Grip It on that other level and something else. It's like the albums intertwine or something. So again, back in those times, that's the first. And if you're from a different era, it's going to be different for you. You know what I'm saying? If you come up a little bit after me, then it may be Atlanta for you, or it may be Memphis. Because if I'm not mistaken, after Houston, I think it was Memphis. You know what I'm saying, with Ball and G. So, or that's around the same time as Outkast came on the scene. Let me see, Outkast first album. I remember I bought Outkast's first album, and my cousin Curtis, rest in peace, bought a Ball and MJG album, On Top of the World, and Southern Playalistic. And I'm not sure if On Top of the World is 8 Ball and MJG's first album. I would like to think it is. No, On Top of the World is the third. Wow. Yeah, man. I think Memphis was after Houston for me. Then came Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So just reminiscing and reflecting on that, I was a heavy fan. Uh, and over time, Scarface, like I said, had the horrorcore type of vibes with the uh, ghetto boys and whatnot. But then when he starts to put, then they caught a hit, right? Then they caught a hit. But hold on, we're not even going to do that. Let's get into the book. Again, I'm a huge Scarface fan. I have him as high as number one on my list. But here's my list. As you can see, I'm wearing you know what I'm saying. I'm wearing one of my favorites. I feel like I have a three-way tie with who's my favorite three artists, right, on the rap side, and that's E40, Scarface, and Black Thought. How different are they? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a three-way tie. You know what I'm saying? Because for what I want to hear when I want to hear it, uh, I like what they do. You know what I'm saying? 40, I always find entertaining, and then and everything just be on the one. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't get it, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the man is funny. He's telling, talking in the same type of vein as someone like Face on that real, you know what I'm saying, from the hood type talk. But he's got this funny and his own twist and spin with it. Black Thought, he's just a monster. You know what I'm saying? Lyrically, Face is like he's just his own different entity. Because another thing with Scarface is that where he doesn't get the credit is that when we talk about producers on the mic, he's got to be high on that list. If he's a producer on the mic, is there anybody better? You feel me? Uh, no, I'll tell you right now because I'll tell you who. That's one of my favorite genres, producers on the mic, right? So I'm a heavy fan of the DJ Quicks, the Pete Rocks, the Large Professors, the Eric Sermons, Kanye West, Dr. Dre's. You know what I'm saying? Q-Tip, uh, Havoc. You know what I'm saying? RZA. I just love J. Cole, Big Crit. You know what I'm saying? Just to name a few. You feel me? So that's my bag. I love that bag. And he's a part of that, but he never gets mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to shed some light on that with y'all today as well. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's tap into the book, man. LPs and books, Diary of a Madman, Mr. Brad Jordan. Let's get it.